Welcome back to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Africa witnessed several demonstrations today, but there are two that were really being focused on for reasons that I don't understand. Kenya and South Africa. I have even checked some of the photos just to understand what was going on in Tunisia, Nigeria, and Senegal, but pictures that are speaking loud and have been posted in social media are those from Kenya and South Africa. So I want us to juxtapose the demonstrations that took place in South Africa vis-a-vis that which took place in Kenya, because this demonstration and mass action has really exposed President Ruto for who he is and not who he wants us to think he is. I want you to look at the two videos. One is Raila Amolo Odinga being tear gassed, and the water cannon is being used to spread that water directly on his vehicles and the convoy while he's addressing a peaceful followers, despite the fact that they were following the law because they were unarmed and they didn't breach any part of the article that allows them to picket peacefully. And then the other one is a group led by Julius Malema singing very loudly and in jubilation, and the government does not interfere with them.
Hata kama wale waoga wanajaribu kuadhiri, tulipeana notisi kwa polisi ati leo Jumatatu tarehe 20 waoga sini wa baba jeshi ya baba sini wa baba.
William Ruto yesterday was in church, the holiest of the holy places, and he promised Kenyans that he would allow the Azimio fraternity to demonstrate and to exercise their freedom of picketing and freedom of association without any interference. In fact, he even sent his interior minister to reiterate and give the Azimio party and their followers assurance that the only thing that will happen is that the police will protect them. But today, he did contrary to what he said. I saw senior members of Azimio being beaten and hurled into police vehicles as if they were criminals. And I remember when Edwin Sifuna, the Secretary General of ODM, was going to KICC, they were blocked. And they forced their way in, but when they were coming back, they had to be tear gassed. And Raila Amolo Odinga was denied entry into the CBD. But when you look at Malema, they marched to the CBD, they were singing, and they were addressed by Malema himself and the leaders of the EFF. I was even checking that they had said that their procession would go on up to some late into the night. And this was just an issue, and security was placed for them. The police was there to protect them. I know there were several hitches where I saw some students being harassed. They were being arrested. I was trying to understand what they did. I couldn't get exactly what they did. But compared to what happened in Kenya, Ramaphosa dealt with that situation in a wiser manner compared to our President William Ruto. You know, one thing that comes to mind is the fact that when we were campaigning for the new constitution, when we wanted to move away from the one party state, when we wanted to move away from the old constitution that gave just too much power to the president, our president William Samoei Ruto rejected the new constitution, and he voted, rallied other supporters, and they voted no. Now he finds himself in the middle of this constitutional quagmire where he is the number one citizen who must uphold and protect the constitution, because on the day when he was swearing in himself as the president, he declared and took oath in the name of the very God they continue to misuse, that he would protect the constitution. Now he is breaching the very constitution. On one side, he says he will uphold the rule of law, but on the other side of the mouth, they beat people who are demonstrating, because we saw the police under the instruction of their bosses. And who is the commander-in-chief of all the armed forces? He is none other than William Samoei Ruto. So he is instructed the police to unleash brutality on innocent Kenyans. I saw some cyclists going along with their businesses, carrying passengers, because some of them did not want to attend them and the demonstrations. But the police started this war, and this is just unacceptable, because if the law is being broken from the top, the law is being broken from State House, then it shall trickle down. Very soon, it will give the police more powers to attack people at night, to continue taking bribe, because they have been allowed to breach the law. William Ruto must also understand that what goes round comes round. Today, the shoes is on the right foot, but tomorrow it will find itself in the other foot, and it will not be very juicy for him. When you are digging a hole for your failure to get in, dig it to a level where if things turn out that you're the one who plunges yourself into the hole, then you can walk out. So Mr. Ruto must think twice, because people fought for this constitution, some had to shed blood so that we could promulgate our new constitution. President William Samoei Ruto is a modern Moi. He thinks and believes in the policies of Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, because this was his mentor. He became an assistant minister in the KANU regime. They were in the YK, is it called YK 92, when they practiced their youthful leadership, working for KANU and harassing people. So to date, William Ruto is coiled in a very good suit. He's just a Moi who has advanced his level of education. But one thing I can assure you, we can take someone from the village, but the village can never be taken from him. So you can take William Ruto from the Moi policies, but those policies cannot be eradicated from him. He believes in them because we have seen Ruto the hardware and Ruto the software. He's trying to change the hardware and it's talking good, because you know he's an orator and he knows how to hoodwink gullible Kenyans. He can lie without blinking. But when you go to the software, you understand exactly what he means. I did not see any EFF leader being tear gassed. I did not see any innocent participants into the mass action being arrested for no good reason. But on ours, they had to harass Raila Amolo Odinga and his brigade and his motorcade, others being arrested here and there. It's unacceptable, ladies and gentlemen. President William Samoei Ruto has detached himself from the reality on the ground. According to him, he still thinks that Raila Amolo Odinga is doing this for self-aggrandizement. They still feel that Raila Amolo Odinga wants a handshake through the back door. And it seems that President William Samoei Ruto is listening to the hardliners so much that they don't even want to understand that there are people who are hungry, who are really suffering, and they don't want to pay attention to their predicaments. You see, when it goes for long, Raila will not be in the picture, but the people themselves will now come out and they will start asking questions. You see, as it is today, they are focusing on Raila Odinga and the Azimio Brigade. A time will come when Raila Amolo Odinga Kalonzo Musyoka and Martha Karua will stay behind because people will tell them, we want to champion this cause ourselves. So if you want to tear gas us. Furthermore, the Zimio Brigade has said that this was just a test. Today was just the beginning and not the end. So will they continue throwing tear gas and using live bullets and spreading that water on Azimio brigades every day? Will it continue that way? Will the hardliners help him? Because I was listening to the champions of economy and they're crying for, they're saying that we have really lost too much, that people need to talk. One thing that is also very clear is that compared to Ramaphosa, William Ruto exercised less wisdom. Because in such a scenario, you need to exercise maximum wisdom because you know very well that you have the country in your hands. In fact, even as we speak today, there is a lot of pressure that the two leaders must come and talk. The reason why they must talk is just one. Raila Amolo Odinga controls over 8 million people who listen to him. People are ready to die for him. William Ruto, on the other hand, has got another millions of people who are listening to him. And so the country is divided in the middle. And so they must, this is what the other leaders are telling them, that they must talk. Many groups, the clergy, the Law Society of Kenya, the economists, they're saying that no one, in fact, after today, no one won. All of us lost. Raila lost, William Ruto lost, Wananchi lost, because no one is winning when people are fighting. If they continue with their hardline stance, the economy will continue to degenerate downwards, and this is not good for them. If they continue on this very path, the country will continue to be divided right in the middle. You know, William Ruto inherited a very divided country. He had a golden opportunity to unite Kenyans, but he decided to choose the path of revenge, the path of even further division, and this is not good for him. We are losing a lot, and we might even face many deaths if he continues on this path. This question that is at the center of the political controversy is opening the server. If William Ruto is so innocent the way he wants us to believe, is opening the server asking for too much, and if Koome and the team love this country, because we are being told that it lies in their hands, the authority to open the server, that it falls within the purview of the court. Why can't they just say that in the interest of our nation, we can open this server so that we can know who won? So ladies and gentlemen, when you juxtapose what happened in South Africa and what happened in Kenya, you'll understand that Ramaphosa, Cyril Ramaphosa, was wiser and he knew what he was going to do, because even after the demonstrations, the country still remains united and they can still even shake hands and they can still talk for the sake of their nation. I don't know what you think, but this is just my thought.